when Jonah says that he can look again to God's temple, he's saying, I have rebelled against you and I have turned away from you, but I will again experience that relationship with you. I will belong to you and you will belong to me. I will be restored again. And this is all possible because one day God's temple wouldn't be a physical building. The temple that Jonah was looking towards here is just a picture of what God dwelling with his people would one day look like. The way God would dwell with his people would be through Jesus. Not a building, but God, in all his glory, would become human. He would take on human flesh and he would physically walk with his people, speak to them, touch them. And more than this, knowing that his people would rebel against him, knowing that they would choose evil, knowing that they would bring God's judgment upon themselves, he took ownership of that rebellion. He wore it as if he was the rebel, as if he was the evil one, as if he had lived a life of anger and lust and selfishness and greed. And he was nailed to a cross and he died. But while he hung there, he experienced the judgment of God in full. He experienced the judgment of God like no living person ever has. He experienced full punishment for sin, true separation from the kindness of God, the full extent of God's wrath. Jesus experienced banishment so that you wouldn't have to.